Hello, my brothers and sisters in the Lord. Today our station church is St. Vitale in Fovea.
If one considers St. Bartholomew on the island as being dedicated to the new martyrs of the church, one could equally consider St. Vitale in Fovea as being dedicated to the old martyrs. As one looks around at the walls of the church, you can see many depictions of martyrdom in sort of pastoral scenes. Turning to the apse of the church, we can see depictions of those martyrs for whom this church is consecrated. To the sides of the church, we can see the torture of Saint Vitale, as well as his burial in the Fovea, which is Latin for pit. Behind the main altar, we can see the martyrdom of his wife, Saint Valeria, as well as the martyrdom of their children, Saint Gervasius and Protatius. But above all of them, we see Christ carrying the cross. We see Christ suffering with them, the image of martyrdom for us. And the final martyr that I want to bring up is not actually depicted anywhere, but is associated with this church. During the Reformation, specifically in England, there was one bishop that refused to bow to Henry VIII's desires. This was St. John Fisher. In an attempt to try to get St. John Fisher out, the Pope actually promoted him to the level of a cardinal and gave him this church. However, the king joked that instead of sending the red hat, which is a symbol of a cardinal, to England, he rather would send the head of St. John Fisher back to Rome. For my meditation today, I want to just focus in on this one rather odd painting that's to the left of the altar. There's this weird image of Samson taking honey out of a lion. It comes from Judges 14. It's a very odd story. But underneath the image, there's this line, In hora mortis a Christo interrempte martyres mel inveniunt, or in English, in the hour of death, having been taken out of it by Christ, the martyrs discovered honey. And I found myself meditating upon this throughout my time in the church, that even in the midst of difficulties and sufferings, Christ is present. He doesn't necessarily take away the sufferings, but gives us joy that carries us through it, that He gives us consolation that sustains us, that in the midst of our little deaths, of our little struggles, we can find the honey of Christ. We can find the consolation of Christ.
Anyways, my brothers and sisters, I hope you continue to have a good Lent, and may God bless you. Hopefully I'll see you around.